Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Another Our World remix. We got a big crowd here tonight. I think all of our fans are here tonight. It's kind of cool. But yeah, it's been the last show we did, Andrea, was 420?
I think so.
Oh my God, that got a good little response from a lot of people. That was a fun night. They said the flow that we had to go. I think that was because of the weather, that we had to keep on going outside, getting really cold, smoking, and then come. By the end, we were all warm in the front. Remember that? Fun? But it was fun. We had a really good time. But we are back. It is now, what is it, May? Kids are graduating, all that good.
May.
And, but we're here tonight, and we've got special guests. Before we go into what we're doing, we have a very special guest today. So I'm starting with, of course, Dave. Everybody knows Dave. Come on. Yeah, Dave is, we're going to be rotating here. He's got to say something. Of course he does.
Hi, everybody.
Dave, everybody.
I'll be back in the studio.
Dave, everybody.
I'm right behind you.
We also have, if you guys listen to the Metaphysical Show with Jason. Or no, well, now they know your name. You're outed, dude. So I think 8 people listen to that episode, Jason. So I think you're okay. But Jason is here tonight.
Left, run.
Oh dear God, we should have Iron Maiden or something playing in the background. All right, we're done with that. Okay, and anyway, so the reason we are here tonight. So a long time ago. 20, 25 years
far away.
In Brest, long time ago in Brestland, where I used to work. It was called the Sugar Shack, but I used to do DJ work. So tonight, I have a good friend of mine that is actually an entertainer at an adult club, and then we also have Bunny. The Bunny is here.
Alice, decided from Give It Up for
Bunny.
Give it up for Bunny, okay? Let's give it up for Bunny, everybody. Bunny is here. I will get that. We'll take that. But Bunny is here, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So, anyways, we've got fun people here tonight. We got people in the audience. It's gonna be cool. So, what we got to do right now is what I want to talk about. I was going to talk about Vegas. Dave went to Vegas. We were going to talk about price comparisons, all the other guys. But I kept on going back this whole week to a 50-year-old gap between people you date. With freaking Belichick and his girlfriend, man. And I don't even really just want to do that, but I wanted, since we have all ages here, I think it's the greatest fucking thing ever. I think it's fucking awesome. I'm good for him. It's a 50-year difference. What? I want to know what you guys are thinking with this. I really do. I was interested because I knew we were having all different age groups.
Well, you guys know I don't believe in dating in a big age gap, so.
No, obviously, yes.
What is
who fits that criteria? Please stand up.
Oh, 2 years?
15 years.
Oh, 15. Okay, so anything.
There's only one person that stood up. Okay.
No, I'm at 26 years.
But seriously, so you dated. We're gonna get into your age and all that stuff later. But
you dated somebody 26 years
younger than you?
No,
Dear God.
Older, sir. No, definitely older.
So, but I do. So you guys, are you aware of Bill Belichick and
yes,
who he
and
is?
Like
are you aware
of?
So he is a coach.
Where am I from?
Oh yeah, of course you're gonna know. That's right. So anyways, a very popular football coach, whatever, and he's 74, and his girlfriend is 24. And they're all over the news. And this is a very quiet guy, reserved guy that usually his interviews consist of 4 words. Get the fuck out, and that's usually it. And this guy's she's hot. Although she did finish second or third in Miss Maine. Mm-hmm. She was just in Miss Maine. She either finished second or third. I'd take any of them. You can finish 10th.
Yeah, right.
Actually, you can be the first person, like the alternate, to get in just in case somebody's sick. That's
right,
it.
They're all
I'd go all over. Oh, yeah. Come on. Even their moms are hot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would do that. So, Corleone, you're 40.
46 to be exact.
How old a woman would you date?
Well, the funny thing with me is that I usually not date on purpose, but I meet girls that are between the age of 23 and 29.
Which is fucking great, by the way.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Girls my age don't go outside anymore.
You are living my fantasy, dude. So. How old? 65?
You talking about like how much?
Yeah.
How older?
If you were to, so say there's a chick with money.
Above my age.
You think there's a chick with money? We're just gonna put it at money. What is your
Okay.
cutoff age?
My cutoff age. I mean, I don't even have a cutoff age, but I've never dated a girl over 37 yet in my life. Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
I just haven't met a girl over my age. Like, so, yeah.
Reality's gonna hit you hard, buddy. It's gonna hit you hard.
It's too weird.
All right, Dave. Let take the microphone, Dave, because we're older, not by much, which surprises the shit out of me. But younger cutoff and older cutoff.
Okay, being 54, low cutoff.
Birth certificate 18. I think.
I mean, going real low, 27.
Okay, and high.
High, let's see, 54
37.
now.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, same. Thank you. Good night. Rock and roll. I mean, sometimes you're like, well, I go 65. Sometimes you're like, I go.
Jane Seymour.
Well, that's where I was going.
Martha
It's like,
Stewart.
no, Reba McEntire.
Dolly Parton. Come on.
I
now.
mean, come on. I mean,
I would love to do a motorboat between. I wonder how many guys have done a motorboat in Dolly Parton's boobs. It'd be fucking great. No, yeah, it would be for me. I think it'd be great.
He likes fake boobs, though.
I love
here's Mark besmirching one of the nicest lady in music.
Can we move on? What's your oldest?
Oldest would
I didn't know it was this big a
71.
71. Okay, 71. All right. Jason, youngest and oldest.
What are you talking about now?
He's talking about anything.
Bunny.
Anything.
71.
Okay, buddy. 8 people listen to this.
I know. Why did you offer him?
Okay, youngest. What is the youngest you would consider having a relationship with?
18.
Nice. Oldest. He's going to say 99. It's just like that thing, that box you hit, 18 to 99.
No. You got to make sure they can take care of you. 40.
40.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
ass.
You got to
Give
romance.
the damn microphone to Bunny.
You got to romance them.
Give the damn
Just
fucking
give the love,
Listen, no,
bro.
take that damn microphone away from him because you're done. You're done,
Oh,
Jason.
can you
All
hear
right.
you?
Go look at your metaphysical self in the damn fucking mirror, okay? All right, Bunny, you're younger. I guess
Yeah.
we're going to get into that next
Yeah.
segment, but oldest and youngest.
So youngest would not be younger than me, so I'd have to say like at least 35. And then oldest, like that's a personality thing.
Closer. You're
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah,
That
I would
girl.
say that's
Good
a
job.
personality thing for the oldest. Because, like, I mean, like I said, 26 and a half years is the oldest age gap I have right now at this point. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't necessarily go older if it made sense, you know? Like I said,
Monetarily?
no.
Oh. See, I'm going there right away. I'm going right to the money.
Not for
How are we
me,
doing
not
this,
for me,
okay?
But yeah.
Okay. So, but girls seem to be okay with dating older guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we are okay with dating younger women.
Yeah,
That's the way it is.
I think God just created a mean.
That's too
I
weird.
don't think it's a nice God. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. That's rough.
And right now, the older women.
I thought that was ta-da.
Ta-da! Yeah, ta-da! But
Right now, the older women that like if I say that I like younger women, the younger women that date the older guys, they like the older guys. But now that they're older, they're mad at the younger women that are dating the older guys. They're hating on them now.
the problem is,
Yeah.
you are an attractive man. I'm ugly. So, and we're not that far. And we were talking about this earlier. You don't look your age. He's 46 for God's sakes, dude. He looks like he's like
Yeah.
32. So you're talking all this shit, but
Black
you don't
don't
realize
crack.
what it's like to
At
be
the
old
weddings,
and
yeah.
bald. I mean, it happens.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but
Oh, no,
anyone
I'm
want
good
shots?
right
He's
now,
going
thank
in
you.
before we start talking.
So you could keep it.
All right. Yeah. Well, 3.
Nice.
3.
You guys.
We're just gonna keep it running. 3 fireballs. Thank you.
Oh, no, I
but-
don't need a fireball. I'm good. I have this over here.
Okay, but anyways,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what I
don't worry.
wanted to talk about, and I think I want to go deeper. I want to go talking about why chicks are okay with older guys.
Do I actually get to talk during this?
Yeah, right now you do.
There you go.
So you actually want to know why chicks are okay with dating?
Not
older
really,
guys?
but you're part
But
of
like,
the
are we
show.
are we
Yeah.
are we talking about this right now, or are you saying this is something you want to go into at some point?
No, I want to go into it. We
Okay.
got this. This is our first segment today. I decided to go this route. So
Oh wow, great.
deep thoughts with Mark.
Deep thoughts with Mark.
Yeah. So come on.
Well, I think like I do agree with Bunny about the personality thing. Like my boyfriend is 15 years older than me, and it's not something like I planned. It's not like something I ever thought when I was going out to meet him for a drink that day that we would be where we're at now. Either one of us thought that, but we just mesh so well that it's like, to an extent, like it works. But I just have a hard time understanding giant age gaps, like bigger than that, because it's like,
So what
do
if
you have
what
in
if
common?
your current boyfriend
Mhm.
was 32 years older than you?
Well,
Your age is what? 32? You're 32, right?
almost, yeah.
So he's 64.
See, I don't think I could do that. Because you still have to be physically attracted to them.
I wish we had one of those laugh tracks
Yeah,
where I could
but
say,
like-
"Well, guess what? Your boyfriend's really 64 years old,"
Yeah,
and
but
then all of a
like-
sudden it's like, "Yeah."
I know, right?
The best-
Yeah.
I know.
You need-
But no. So do you feel the same way? Because you
Well,
just said his personality.
No,
it's-
because like I mean, Sam Elliott's really hot. I would totally like. Yeah. 100%.
maybe that's all guys got to have. They just got to be sexy.
Personality and sexy. That's-
Listen, Sam
and
Elliott
money,
is an
of
attractive
course.
man.
This is a whole nother episode. We're not going there. Okay?
Sam Elliott
We're not
is an-
going down there right now. We
is
can talk all about Sam Elliott. I like him too, but we're not going to go down that
Sam
episode.
Elliott is an attractive man, but I wouldn't date him. I don't care if I found
So.
out.
You do him.
I wouldn't do him either.
You're such a liar.
No, I wouldn't.
I
You
would.
do him.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I knew that right as you walked out. I never met you. I knew. First thing I said was, she'd do Sam Elliott.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I thought.
anytime.
That's what I thought.
I wouldn't.
Kim,
He
so
could
did
walk
somebody
in right
lie
now.
over there?
I'd
You
be
did
like,
too?
take this microphone away. I gotta go do something.
But it looks just like, listen, she's got to be, pretty like lively to be like 65 if I'm going to. I don't
She
want
has
to
to be super
die
hot.
with her
I-
holding hands like the Titanic or something. I want to be able to. Now, if she had money, totally different.
I get that for you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, everybody's a different personality, right? So we
Yeah, some
like
of 'em are
personalities. You
gold
like
diggers.
the money. Yeah.
Damn straight. Males can be.
some of us
most
are.
definitely, guys can be gold diggers. It's
And
freaking
some
great.
of us
I'll
are
be
in
a
it for
silver
love.
digger. I don't even
Well, and the
care.
thing
I'll
about
be
it
a
is there's
silver
nothing
digger.
wrong with
Like
that.
silver
That's
sneakers?
just what you are, and it's good to know yourself.
I'm
I like
shallow.
that you know that.
I like being
It's
shallow.
good to know that about yourself.
Yeah.
All right, so
But here's the thing too that's awesome about older guys is like they have manners
Likewise.
and chivalry versus like some of these guys
That
our
one.
age. I'm like, they call each other brah.
you live in your mom's basement.
And like
Yeah, I
they
can't
take
stand
you out,
some of that.
They take you out on your first date and then they ask you to pay half the bill. Like, bitch, no, I will not pay.
Well,
half
we
the
are going to
bill.
expect you
And
to
I mean,
put out
what
if
are we
pay the
considering
bill.
a date
That's
anyway?
just fair, so.
Like,
And they don't, they don't even want to take you to a date half the time. They're just like, hey, girl, penis pic. And you're like, I don't know what you think.
Wow.
Now, I
That's
usually
Like, at what point
include
did
a
I
little
ask for
cup of
that?
coffee emoji on top of my dick pic. That's usually what I include.
That's not
I
bad.
think it's really classy. It separates my dick pics from all the
Oh,
other dick
shoot.
pics. Sometimes I put a little freaking joint in it.
Wow.
And it's fucking-
okay, I like
That's
that.
too
Yeah,
funny.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's kinda- it's
But I'm
kinda
just
cool.
saying, I think,
I'm
like,
about to spit this
when
out.
hopefully the older you get, some men don't seem to get this like Mark, but the older you get, you mature and you have life, and then you enjoy those things, and
Huh?
then you do.
Boobs.
Yeah. And I just think like guys our age, a lot of them weren't raised in that era of like being.
I'm chivalrous.
Exactly.
I treat your aunt good.
Do you pump the
Kinda.
gas?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
Do you open the doors?
Listen,
I
everybody
love
thinks I don't
that.
love my wife, but I do today. I love her.
Just today?
No, all the time. You caught that pretty quick. I was gonna end the segment on that, but it didn't work. You screwed it up over there,
I'm
buddy.
sorry.
Willow,
Oh, nice.
Snoopy, whatever we're calling you tonight. Okay.
Oh, Willow would have been cute.
Bunny.
Willow, we could change it.
Bunny
It's
is hot.
You can
No,
go
I
by
like
Willow.
Bunny. I like Bunny
Yeah.
though
How
because
about-
it works.
How about
We're all
Bunny
thinking
Willow?
Playboy.
Oh yeah, I know.
I
That's
don't know
what
if
it
that
sounds like.
works.
Yeah.
Bunny Willow? It's
Bunny-
like it sounds like a cartoon character.
It does.
Bunny Willow?
Yeah,
Or
that's
it
too
sounds
much,
like
right?
a porn name.
Her last
No, it
name has
doesn't.
to be Hoppin.
How? That's
Bunny
perfect.
Wait, I could have been the white rabbit. That would have been cool, but
Ah, but
I don't know.
Bunny hopping.
But
Look, Jessica Rabbit.
wait, what
hot,
was that
so-
one in your voice? Because you got a fucking perfect voice. We were calling her Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunny hopping.
Bunny.
Bunny hopping.
I know.
yeah, I don't know about that.
Bunny huffing.
Everybody likes it, but you, Miss Hoppin.
Bunny. I know.
We're gonna do that. It's Miss Hoppin. I'm sorry. It's
We're all
Hoppin.
hopping
Oh,
it.
She's
Bunny's
hopping,
cute.
yo.
Whenever you want to
She's
buy
hopping
into
it.
this show, you know I own the copyright, so you're shit out of luck, Miss Hoppin.
It's, you know how you say you're happening? She's happening.
Wow! Listen to freaking Cornelius over there. Holy
Cornelius?
shit.
I thought it was like
Wow.
ketamine or Wait, what? No.
Well, we could just hang it. We could say goodnight, Phoenix, and I think people would understand completely. The 9 people, the 4 in Indonesia, by the way, would freaking they would listen to us.
Yeah,
and
but
they would
I
love
gave
it.
They
2
rose.
people the link before like we started this, so like you got 2 more.
A lot of people give the
Oh,
link
good.
and they spell
Nice.
it wrong or they do.
Listen,
Pass it
No,
around.
no, I
They're
got it
pulling up a-
directly
they're
from
pulling up
him.
a porn site.
I got it
Seanette's
directly from
sister
him.
is our #1
From
fan. She has
Corleone.
listened to every episode. She wants to meet.
Can I sign?
AA.
Can I sign something? Aaron?
Yeah, she.
Oh my God! I have to tell you. I'm going to tell you off the problem. If it was pathetic on Saturday with Aaron. I'm so mad at you, Aaron, if you're listening. But okay, we're done with this segment. So when we get back, the reason why we're here tonight is because we're going to talk a little adult entertainment. Is what we're going to do. Miss Bunny Hoppin and Cornelius over there is going to talk about.
I like Cornelius. That totally works.
So
Cornelius. That's the winner right
I mean, it can be whatever it was before. You don't have to like go and rechange
Yeah,
that.
whatever.
but-
I mean, we're never calling him over there. I mean,
We're going
I
with
think
Cornelius.
next time we need to start like earlier with the name
We're
thing.
gonna take a break and we're gonna be right back. We'll talk about that at another time. But the reason we are here tonight, so now I have to start it out about me because it's always about me. The show is about me. Everybody knows that, by the way. So about 25 years ago, I worked in a adult entertainment facility. You know, I was a dancer, by the way. I look great. No, but I was a
Have you heard of the
Wait,
male
what?
Marquisha?
Confuse me.
No, I
like
DJ'd.
that.
I DJ'd in one, and so I brought tonight. We got to talk. Hey, everybody, give it up for Cornelius. I know I'm messing with you, brother. Good Corleone, okay, but I'm messing with you. So give it up, Cornelius. Talking.
Corleone.
Okay, look. How many drinks did you have?
I've had 15.
15.
No, I haven't.
That's
had
my favorite
Wow.
number.
I want to play poker with you, man.
Okay, yeah. Hey, I play poker. 7
That's it.
cards.
Let's do
7
it.
cards.
Let's go. But anyway, so
Yes.
we want to talk about the differences in like the strip clubs nowadays for when I worked there and see what the differences are. But the
Okay.
big guest we have today is Bunny Hoppin, man. Bunny is here. Bunny
Sexy
Hoppin is
Bunny.
here.
Hi.
And Bunny actually works at an establishment, and we're gonna start picking her brain right now. I mean, I want to know. So, how long you been doing it?
A year, almost exactly.
How'd you get into it?
I just didn't want to be at a job I hated anymore.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay,
I worked
so-
in a factory before that.
This is
Yeah,
where I'm
fair.
gonna explore more here.
Yeah.
So, you could have been a waitress, and whatever. So, what made you go right to the dancing aspect of it?
I needed a really flexible schedule. That was very important because I have a kid, and I also needed to be able to like be myself.
Yep.
And
I understand.
That's
I
the
think I
best
understand
place, really, to do that.
So,
Or however many selves you want to be. Honestly, you
So
be a new self every day.
I guess that's a good.
That's true.
Yeah, because you can actually be a different person. So if you have regulars come in, because I remember, I mean, we'll start talking about me and you and our coincidences, but you can have guys come in that want a certain you on a Tuesday who is really, you're playing somebody else. I never thought of it as looking at it as an actress kind of thing.
I don't know if it's quite that like complicated. Like, it's just more like different outfits, makeup, things like that. You're still looking the same. If you talk to somebody that you've talked to before, you're still going to talk in a similar way. So you're not like a whole new person. But at the same time, if you meet a new person that comes in, you can be,
What they want.
however. Yeah. I mean, in a way.
Do they still use bounce sheets to smell good? When I worked in them, they used the bounce downy sheets, and they would rub them on themselves because the smell would last.
I have not seen that actually.
No, so this is where I'm showing my age.
I
Ryan,
have
because
put
that's-
them in my shoes though.
with high heels.
No, like not while I'm wearing them. Like when before I
Oh,
put them in
okay.
my bag, because like you wear them for a long day, and then like I wear boots. I don't wear the like sandals. So
Okay, and so so when I worked there, what was it? The young lady that wanted to dance was in $100 before they could even start. They needed to pay 50 to the house, 20 to the DJ, 20 to bar, and 10 to the door. So they were out. They couldn't even start until they paid the house $100, and they got to go on stage. That started their night. So they were always in $100. Did that even?
it's not quite like that. So when you go in, whatever time of day you go in, that's how much your house fee is gonna be. And
What do they range?
Usually if you get there when it opens, it could be a $0 to $10, and then after that, like right after open, it's gonna go right up. So if it was 0, it's gonna go right to 10. If it was 10, it's gonna go right to 20.
Have you ever paid 50? Because 50 was, and I wasn't even at a really good adult entertainment bar.
I mean, for my house fee, I've never paid more than, I think it was like 40. But if you get there past a certain time, you can pay $80 just to walk in the door. And if you get there before the latest cutoff, generally, you can pay your house once you make the money. You don't have to pay your house when you get there, but you can. Most people don't. And then if you get there at the latest cutoff, you do have to pay it when you walk in the door. And then we do have a tip out system that's generally after, and that just goes off.
Ours was before.
Yeah, that's
we
crazy.
actually had I don't know how you.
Most people
I'm
do
gonna
not
ask a
have money
DJ
walking in the
question
door.
Yeah. Yes.
Corleone. So we used to have a board. It was a whiteboard that right behind where we were DJing is right in front of us, and so it would go up there, and every girl that was up there is $20, and as they came on, you would erase their name, they'd give you the $20, and you'd put them next on stage, and that's how how it worked.
Oh, okay.
So if the girl fell behind 3 nights and owed you $60, you wouldn't introduce her. You wouldn't do anything. And then the money she was making had to go to what she was behind.
That's too funny.
They don't do that?
Not at all.
That was an everyday. So there would be like girls come and it was as a single guy who was it was fucking great because they were like, "Hey, how do I pay this off?" And what do I do? And I'm like, "Just give me a drink." At the end, stupid. But seriously, they're and we wouldn't. Sometimes there'd only be 4 girls. And the girls would be loaning the other girls money so they can get back on stage and be whatever.
Wow.
So what's your average? I got to ask you now. What is your highest night making money? Because it's all tax.
Okay.
Or tax free. It's all cash.
Yeah,
It's
and
not...
just so you know, pimping ain't easy.
I know this is not going to be good.
Big C! Big C!
No, don't say big C because that sounds like you're talking about chlamydia. Don't keep
I was going another way with that, but
No, but, I mean, I'm
But
talking
seriously.
about legal pimping.
Legal pimping, of course.
Ain't easy.
right, yeah.
Legal pimping. The owners, they're legal pimps.
They are, absolutely. They're I think I can run a pretty good establishment.
I think
respect
you can too,
everybody.
though.
I think I can do that.
Yeah.
I think I'd respect the girl. I think if I got to take less money, whatever, let's figure shit out. It's not that big. How much is enough money that you need in life? So I think I'd be a lot most of these guys are, although I'm going to put you on the spot, Miss Andrea, because you actually knew owners of a certain establishment. So I want to hear your thoughts on that. Were they good people?
Yes, they are good people. They were good people. They didn't do it like that as much. I don't really
They
know.
were good.
Well,
Did
what
you get
did you
that?
do to them?
they don't own
They don't own it
clubs.
anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
But
They did up until about a year ago, right?
correct.
Okay.
And so I don't really know how they paid out the girls, but the girls that work there seem really good. And they've had like the same people stay with them through years and years and years and years. So I feel like that probably says something about how they treat you there. So, but yeah, they were really nice and they had certain standards that you had to be like, you couldn't be
What? I mean,
gross. You couldn't, like, there wasn't like a lot of gnarly things that I knew that went around. So,
yeah, because so when I worked there, and I'm going to ask it, there were a lot of drugs in the back, man. There was a lot of ecstasy, there was a lot of coke, there was a lot of friggin', and I can't say I was young, I was single, sometimes I got paid in different avenues. Okay, and their names came off the board. I was young, so I'm not going to apologize for that. But does that still go on at all behind the scenes anymore or anything like that?
Maybe, but not like that. Not like that much. They really have cracked down on the drug situation.
Yeah.
We can barely smoke weed pens sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Vapes are usually fine, like nicotine vapes, but then weed pens, it depends what club. I've been to clubs that are not okay with that, and I've been to clubs that are. So.
Do you know how shallow I am?
But it is a legal thing. So legally in a bar, right, they can't have you smoking weed. So if somebody came in that would, I don't know who is the people that do that, but if
So,
there were people that did that.
I can't see that. Give it to her. She'll tell it to me. But, Corleone, I got to ask you a question here, and I'm going to be honest with you.
Are you going to let him answer it,
you
though?
didn't,
Oh,
let
yeah.
him, you didn't let him finish the answer about his tips. About
Yeah,
tips.
that's
Right.
what I was
Oh,
showing you.
shit.
Right.
That's what you
what
couldn't
I
see.
meant.
Oh,
Yes.
You could have just said that.
I
I was
tried to
thinking
give you a
it too.
teleprompter or something. Like,
it's tough.
He goes
man.
off the
I'm a
wall.
professional.
Yeah.
All right, tips. Did you save it all?
Save
No.
what? The
You
tips?
said how much are the differences in tips and how you get made? Because you were talking
15 drinks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But yeah, seriously, I would make an average of about $400 a night DJing.
Okay, now let me just ask you a question because I just want to make sure that we are on the same point of the amount of years. So from 2021 to 2025, I've been doing strip clubs for the first time ever. What year did you do the strip clubs?
1932.
1932. I wasn't even alive.
They were still in skirts and they weren't allowed to show a lot. But no,
I wasn't even alive.
it had to be. It had to be.
They were
2000
picking
to
potatoes.
2003. I was in
2003.
and out of it between 2000 and 2003.
Okay,
That's when
just
I
so
was-
you know, back then it was more structured with your tips. Now it's not really structured. I DJed at about 5 strip clubs in Arizona, and they all basically do different types of tip structures. Like the one that I work at now is better than the last one. So,
But how
so,
does
like,
it? How does it work now? You're not getting
the way
$20 a girl, or you're not getting.
Well, I get tipped on everything. Like if the girls just sit down on a guy's lap, I get tipped on it.
How does that? Is it like a?
So yeah, like anytime when the girls do a floor dance, I have to count it, and I have TV screens right in front of me where I see them, and I have to watch it. It's
Miss
different.
Hoppin.
It's
How do you
different.
feel about that? Seriously, I want to know, Miss Hoppin, Mr. Dave. Can you give Miss Hoppin the microphone, please?
how do you watch it?
Yeah,
What do you
and
Well,
I
that's
want-
different than the clubs that I work in. So,
But are you okay with that?
I mean, yes and no, but mostly no, I guess. So, here's the thing,
Mostly
okay?
no.
I don't have a car right now. So, if I have to Uber to work, it's $20 each way. So, if I make less than $60 at work, I'm sorry, but that money is mine because most of it is going to just me getting there and going home. I made $20 after that. Like, really? You want me to tip out on that? That's fucked up. You got me fucked up.
No, you'll make more at my club.
Right, but
Yeah.
like
If
that's
this
what
isn't a
most
sales
of,
pitch over
but
there.
I'm
okay?
just saying, like
Dear God,
that-
he's always on the clock, motherfucker.
I work at-
Can you
It's
relax?
my voice.
but I work at 3 clubs and I very rarely make more than that. If
Come
I'm
work at my
being
club, honey. I'll make you
completely
more money.
honest. You don't have one yet, sir.
No.
That's why like there's other things that people are trying to do, but like at the same time, I understand that you want to get tipped and I want to tip you as my DJ, but like I said, like I got to eat and you do get a paycheck here. I know it's not a lot, but
You're a good
I
tipper
don't get
too,
that
Bunny.
shit.
I already know you.
You
But
got-
you know
you
what
got-
I'm saying? Like, if
you
I
got a
don't make
paycheck?
enough to at least go
Yeah,
in
I
and
get a
out,
paycheck. I
right?
clock in and
We
out.
don't get that at all. So.
No, exactly.
But
There was,
it is-
other, there
it's
was
not-
no. If they
We gotta
barely knew
pay
your,
to
they
be
didn't give a
there.
shit if they knew
It's
your name.
barely minimum wage though. It's only like $11
Oh, we don't.
and some
There's
change, so
all
an hour.
cash only. So if you had like a Tuesday night, we're doing, and there was only 3 girls that showed up, and 2 of them didn't have cash.
Yeah.
Fuck, they paid you with a fucking ecstasy pill. All right, let's have some fun.
Right, but if-
I mean, that's what.
Well,
you
see,
know
and I
what
don't
I
even
did.
have the or I don't know what's the right word. I don't even get to use drugs anymore, right? So like,
Which is a good thing, by the way.
right?
that's
But
just that
yes,
club,
yes,
though,
I know.
particularly.
Like, I don't
Can I
really
get
want
it?
to,
That
but
Can I get an applause on the don't do drugs?
right? No, I agree with that for sure. But I'm just saying,
That's
like,
just that club.
I, regardless of whether I make money that day, regardless of whether anybody comes in, if I walk in the building to do my shift, I have to pay the house.
Right. That's how they make their money.
Right, but then that means I might be coming out of pocket, and not only that, but my Uber there too. Like, are you for real?
Sad part about that is that the owners sometimes call a lot of girls in to pay the house, so that's where they make their money, and that's where one particular club, I'm not going to mention the name right now, but they actually call girls in so that they can get paid off of the girls instead of the customers.
Wow.
That's fucked
Do
up.
I work at one of
It's
those?
pimping.
It ain't easy.
Yes.
Really?
No, I'm not going to say. I can't really.
Pimping, it ain't easy. Yeah.
That's how you.
And let me do it the whitest guy way ever. Pimping. It ain't easy.
And the owners use the girls as their own personal brothel at one particular club. I've never experienced that before. At
I
any
never
other
slept
club,
with any of the
except for that
girls
one.
at
What do you mean, like sexual?
Yeah, out of
Yeah.
the 5
Sexual.
clubs that I've
You mean
worked at, I've worked
sexual.
at 5. Can I say that again? 5 clubs,
Uh-huh.
I got 3.
and only
That's not too
one
bad.
where the owners actually are really
pimps.
pimps. Yeah, and they fired me because I basically knew that they were pimps.
Okay, so I'm going to change. I'm going to keep
So,
on that. But what
yeah.
would be your
Oh,
pimp name?
man.
Mine.
Would you have a pimp name?
It'd obviously be
Mine,
Cornelius.
when I grew up, my
I know now, huh?
I want to know what your pimp name would be.
when I grow up my curls, it'll be curly
Curly.
I like
okay,
that.
With a K or?
with a K. It's
Yeah,
like-
yeah, that
Curly with a
works.
K.
I like
Yeah.
kangaroos too. so,
Okay, so
yeah. Did you hear
She-
about the kangaroo that killed a person
Oh,
recently?
no.
That's a whole nother topic, though. by the way.
is this a joke or are we?
No, for real.
Then
like,
we'll move
and his
on.
brother. Okay, yeah, we'll move on. Dude. It's a
Okay,
long
yeah.
story.
Look it up. It's on Google.
Yeah,
okay.
Everything.
So
Kangaroo,
who
yeah.
would what your name would be?
My stripper name?
No, well, we could go with stripper name, yeah.
Well, my stripper name. It's funny that you say this because my friends and
Boyfriend, what's your stripper name?
I. No, my friends and I would talk about this when we were young. We would go to strip clubs. Mine would be Chanel
Chanel.
with an S.
Oh, good job.
I like
with
that.
apostrophe or anything?
That's a good one.
And not that you asked, but mine would be Willow.
Willow. See, yeah, good job.
Um,
All right,
I
found
got
a
it
good
in there,
job.
you know.
What would
Why
be
did a girl
yours?
named Willow
So
call
then
me,
I want
text
to talk.
me, and
Hold
everything?
on, I
like,
want to talk about a couple things. really
No,
quick.
no, Dave.
Oh, God.
What would your pimp name be?
Shaved ice.
Dear
Dave,
God.
That's a
What
good
would
one.
your
Slippery and cool.
What would
Wow,
be your
those are
pimp
smooth.
name?
I'd like to be DJ Shallow, man.
No,
That-
pimp
your
name,
pimp
not DJ
name.
name.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe
DJ name.
Shallow.
DJ name.
I want to be known as a shallow man, but authoritarian. What is
So
that?
it doesn't matter.
So what would your pimp name be?
He has to think about it.
I do. I really do.
Let him think about it for like a minute.
Yeah.
He's old.
I'll,
He's gonna
I'll
be like
answer this
6.
in the next segment. I really think I'm going to answer this in the next segment.
I'm a New Yorker, but,
But
I
I
have
want to
patience.
wait. No. But seriously, so your best night money wise, and what right now? So I worked at a place where table dances were so normal was $10. I worked at a place they were $7. So that should tell you the kind of where I work.
Yeah.
So guys would actually ask for the $3 back from the girl. They
Yeah,
would. It
I
was
know what you
pathetic.
mean.
They
That's
would.
messed up, though.
Yeah. So
They should tip
what,
her that.
What
I'd have
now?
been like, I don't have change, sorry.
And I can honestly say that I recently went to an adult establishment, and it was weird. The girls weren't walking around. You had a menu, and you would go and you'd say, okay, that, yeah, and you go pay your $80 or whatever, and you get 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever
Are
the
there
hell it
pictures
was.
on the menu?
No.
You just pick the girl out that you like, and you take them up to this cage.
Yeah, the
I'm like,
menu was for
this is
what
pretty.
they offer.
It's pretty. So
Yeah, that's a
that
little
isn't
weird.
normal, right? Okay,
No,
so where are you guys now with?
So, we have like ranges, right, between clubs. So I would say like there are clubs that are like $5 to $10 floor dances, but usually you have to have like a wristband that's like $20 first. So that's a little
Wristbands?
different. And then there's some clubs that like they're just like fuck a floor dance, like we're gonna do $70 3 songs, like in the back.
In the back area, exactly.
Yeah,
that's where
so-
I'm not trying to. That's where you make your money. I mean, you're going to make your money back.
VIP, yeah.
Yeah, in the
absolutely.
VIP
Yeah.
for sure.
Do you get your champagne and shit for free or anything? If they
No.
get no, so do you
I
have to pay
mean,
for that?
if they get a big enough room, yeah. But so if I want to drink alcohol at a club, I absolutely have to pay for it. And then depending on what club I go to, if I want to drink soda or juice, I still have to pay at least $1 or
Okay,
$2.
but
Yeah,
then
we
let's
try
go
to get
back
get
to
the customer to pay.
how much was your
If
best?
you can, if they are there.
Yeah, yeah.
How
Oh, yeah,
much was
yeah.
your best single day take home?
I think I made like 1,000 and something. It wasn't like that much more on a Tuesday, but that was the most I've ever made, and that was only one time.
Holy crap! Okay, and do you? I'm not trying to sound degrading or anything. So there's guys that obviously come and see you. They're you got their
Like
regulars,
the
just like
regulars,
Yeah, the
definitely,
regulars
yeah.
that freaking. I saw it and
Yeah,
everything
sometimes
else.
definitely.
So what's your top that you think you've not taken because he's willing? So I don't want to put it like that.
right.
That you've worked for this gentleman that he's given you. That one guy maybe has given you the most
It was that day because it was pretty much one person.
for the whole night.
Yeah.
Did he ever come back in?
No, unfortunately, but he was really cool. No, that was actually a really fun night. So I might have gotten one dance from somebody else. So I did get a little bit of money from somebody else, but mostly it was from him. And we went into the back room and we did like an hour and a half in total. And he just wanted to like slow dance with his shirt off with
Sometimes
my
you get
shirt off
that
and his
one
shirt off.
person.
And like that was cool. I loved that. It was amazing. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, sometimes they could be
I'll tell
three
my brother
customers.
that. I'll tell my brother you told him that.
Yeah.
No, I like
That's
a good
probably him.
cuddle
Gosh.
too.
That's probably your brother.
Oh my!
Hilarious.
It was not.
I always knock my brother
so
down.
messed
I
up.
always knock my brother.
What's
If
his
you're
name? Say his
laughing
name.
this,
Okay.
if you're listening to this,
I love you, Steve.
I wasn't part of this. I wasn't part.
I didn't
of this.
actually get it until after, so
So
I don't think I was part of it
okay,
either.
so let's take your top. We already know your lowest. You talked about that. So what's the average you go in, and how long do you have to work for that average? And what do you?
So when you go into a club, they always have like a minimum hours that you have to work. And generally it's 4, but I've worked at clubs that are 5 hours that you have to stay. And then usually you can stay as long as you want after that, except for there are some clubs that have a day shift and a night shift, and you have to leave at a certain time if you get there at a certain time. So it really kind of ranges. There's a big range.
Yeah, it's a lot different because seriously, we would have girls that would just be in for town for from LA or when I was doing it, I forget what was going on. And it was always the Phoenix Open. So there'd be girls that would just go from club to club for like 2 hours on Scottsdale Road and go all over the place, and they'd make bank because they were just going from club to club to club every hour when the Phoenix Open was in. That's all.
Yeah, that's
wanted to
probably
do.
why you were not allowed to do that.
That could be.
they fucked
I
it
don't
up
know,
for
but
us.
that's how long. So I want to hear more from you. How is it
Yes.
working now? More behind the
Wait,
scenes.
I have a question.
Okay.
I didn't realize that you could move from different clubs to club. Like they don't have rules. Like,
It's
well,
that
if you
easy.
work,
So we sign a contract, but it's not a contract that says we can't work at different clubs. So I have a contract with 3 different clubs. I don't generally tell the other club that I'm working at a different club just because I don't want to deal with them being like, oh, why are you doing that? Whatever. Like, it's not your business. It's my business, right?
Mhm.
If I'm not making money here, like, that's a you problem, not a me problem. And I mean, unless I'm not doing my job, right?
Dave is anxiously waiting. He has been very patient.
A contract. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to talk too much about that, but does that have to do with NDA?
Can you remind me?
NDA is a non-disclosure agreement.
So like we're not allowed to talk about stuff that I actually don't know.
No, she's saying basically like
I
If
think
she
it's
says
just-
something, the owners get jealous.
yeah,
and-
that's what
Yeah.
I mean. I think the contract is more just like a contract saying like I'm not gonna sue them if I hurt myself at the club, and like I'm
like
using
a liability.
yeah, like I'm using their equipment, and that like they are hiring me, but they're like allowed to fire me if they choose, like because we like they don't really have to give us a reason to fire us because we're independent contractors,
contractor.
kind of. They
Do
like
you ever get one at the end of the year? Do anyone actually send you a 1099? That's what it would send you.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
she doesn't-
think so.
exactly. Because
it's my
I-
first year technically,
Yeah,
so I wouldn't really know.
But
yeah.
they don't like get
No.
like they're say like you work at Club A, and then they're like you can't go work at Club B if you want to work at Club
No,
A.
they
They
can't
don't
stop
do
you.
that stuff.
Yeah, no, they
definitely
can't.
stop you.
It in the contract it says that you're allowed to work wherever you want. It's just that a lot of us feel like if we talk to the management and tell them that we work at other clubs, they're gonna be
They hate
upset
on
with
you.
us.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And sometimes
Yeah.
like there's like favoritism, and you don't always want to be on the back end of that. So it's
So I was
easier
just
not
going to
say
kind of
anything
go
about
there
that
with the
sometimes.
owners of the
Gotcha.
clubs or sleeping with
Yeah.
the staff. I mean,
Oh yeah, they definitely do
no,
that a
it
lot.
happened
Oh,
back when
yeah.
I mean, there's
Owners
no doubt in my mind
definitely
it happened.
date strippers for sure.
But again, that's kind of why I was going with the NDA. I was wondering what it was between.
There's no NDAs.
No.
Half the they don't even know what an NDA is, to be honest with you. These owners,
But
man.
but it's really interesting to me that these club owners do know that it's kind of like you're gonna do Lyft, you're gonna Uber, you're gonna
Yeah,
do both.
right.
You're gonna do everything. I had no idea that it worked in the industry that way. That
They're haters. They hate on each other. So yeah.
But nowadays, can you bunny hopping?
okay, now just one quick one on that though. But do at times do they ever work together a little bit?
You mean like the clubs?
Correct.
No,
the
never.
clubs.
The only clubs that work together are sister clubs, and those are the ones owned by different entities of the same person. So like I work for 2 clubs right now, and they're owned by 3 different people, and one of the people